Welcome back to Rage TV. Earl the Pearl with Mark Bray. Earl, I really hope you enjoyed that display there at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I did enjoy the display.
From the last house to the left in South Jersey, the Callihan Death Machine and the 2011 Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup winner, Sami Callihan!
2011 Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup winner Sami Callihan going to get in some three-way action here on Rage TV. You know, I just want to point out that took the entire part of the show. We're just finally getting to the match. I just work here, but I just want to say.
You think you're real slick and you're so cute, delivering messages from Dennis Whipwreck, thinking you got us off our game. You ain't got us off our game, brother.
Be that as it may, we'll see what happens as there are now two commissioners here in
Japan, Rich Swann!
MCW. And Rich Swann, who hasn't been in MCW action in quite some time, looks like he's put on a little weight, gotten a little better shape. We're going to see how his skills have improved inside the ring as he goes up against
Sami Callihan.
Sami Callihan, and of course, this next contestant coming out for this three-way.
Get with the program, Mark Bray. What are you thinking about it?
Well, I thought, the ring announcer, Bernie Dell, was about to speak, and I wanted to be courteous.
Bernie Deal.
Do you know what courteous? Do you know how to be courteous?
Dell is a computer.
2012 might just be a long year.
And there's participant number 3 from the 609, Alex Cologne.
Mark Bray, you're going to get an education here. This is going to be a tremendous three-way match that only Team McDevitt can bring you. 2012 is going to be the greatest year in Maryland Championship Wrestling yet. Big talent right here, Sami Callihan, Alex Cologne. Big-time talent, baby.
Well, I will have to agree with you on that, Earl the Pearl. This is some of the best talent that MCW has seen. We've been building it over. Hold on a second.
You talk about us, the man's got a wrench in his knee pad. There you go.
Sami Callihan caught with a wrench in his knee pad, and it takes Alex Cologne just seconds to capitalize on that as he goes to work now on Rich Swann.
You mentioned earlier Rich Swann hasn't been in Maryland Championship Wrestling in a long time. He has been here, but the man hasn't been just at home sitting on the couch. He's been traveling the world, taking on the best in the world, and we're glad to have him back.
And no doubt about that, all you have to do is look at the man's physique and see that he has been hitting the gym. He's also been hitting the wrestling ring. And as of right now, Sami Callihan takes Rich Swann down. He's going to go for a cover, and the referee only goes for a 1 count.
That's the wrestler in Rich Swann. He kept that shoulder raised up off the mat, and he couldn't get a 1 count.
It just seems very strange to me that someone like Sami Callihan would have something like that in a wrench of,
Well, see, that just shows the difference between me and you. I'm not surprised for a second. The man's called the new horror for a reason, Mark Bray. He is not your typical professional wrestler, and I like that he'll do what it takes to get the job done.
Sami Callihan,
even though he's your fan favorite, if you will, here in Maryland Championship Wrestling, I respect the man's
There's no doubt about that. Now Sami Callihan in control right now, and Rich Swann as he tries to make a little bit of a defense with a couple of elbows to the chest of Sami Callihan, goes up against the ropes.
Oh,
and wow, some amazing aerial maneuvers. Here comes a cover. 1, 2, and it's just a 1 count. Rich Swann known for that.
And you don't see Sami Callihan running away from too many people, but he rolled right away from Rich Swann on that one.
You're absolutely right. Now Alex Cologne going to give his shot at it. A kick to the face of Rich Swann. Rich Swann goes for a reversal, sends Cologne into the ropes. Cologne holds on.
There. Beautiful. I tell you what, these guys are on fire, baby. 100% pure talent, exploding off the screen.
Folks, this is Maryland Championship Wrestling. This is Rage TV, and this
who's
is the
running
excitement.
the show, Mark Bray? Team McDevitt. Thank you.
Team McDevitt. Strong words from Cologne. Might be a little bit of cockiness and arrogance. We'll see if that comes to bite him in the butt, so to speak.
It's going to make him successful. Nice guys finish last. That's what you got to do. You got to get vicious. You give this guy an inch, and Rich Swann will take it home on you, brother. Believe me.
And I want to point something out there. Sami Callihan is nowhere to be seen. Somewhere at ringside, you know he's just collecting strength, watching, waiting for a moment to attack. That you and I can agree with.
He's waiting
and
for the
just
moment.
like clockwork, it's like he was listening to us here at the broadcast position, and I don't think either two competitors in the ring see Sami Callihan on the top rope.
Well, they do now. Oh!
And somehow Cologne able to come out of that could have been disastrous.
Well scouted. And I think Sami's still a little dazed from earlier. I think he had something in his mind to do off that top rope. It just didn't work out. And I tell you what, these kicks and chops are devastating.
And, of course, both these men competed in this year's Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup from the green room this past summer.
Listen to that, Mark Bray.
Both of them moving on quite far in the tournament. And now, folks, you're getting these competitors for free right now at your computer, on your TV in Virginia and in Pennsylvania. That's what MCW is all about.
Alex Colon had to go to the eyes there. He had to slow him down. Sami was just beating the tar out of him. Oh, there's a receipt for you.
Now Alex Colon on the top turnbuckle. And viciously.
That's got to be it.
1, 2, and Rich Swann able to
That would have
barely
been the biggest win in MCW to date for Alex Colon right there if it was not for Rich Swann. He saved that pinfall, no doubt about it.
And look at this. Colon seems to be upset that that Swann broke up the pinfall. I mean, this is not a 2-on-1. This is
that certainly didn't make sense to me. He broke up the pinfall, and
that's kind of what he's supposed to do. I mean, you're the wrestler, not me, but
hey, you never know when you're out there and you're in the moment. But you don't trust anybody out there. He could be setting them up for a fall.
Well, hold on a second. Alex Colon barking orders at Rich Swann, and Rich Swann seems to be complying here. Might be something a little more going on here than meets the eye, Earl.
Well, they better figure out something. They're giving Sami a lot of time to rest just because they can't figure out who they want to win.
You certainly don't want to do that.
Can only be one winner.
Absolutely, and you certainly don't want to do that with a competitor like Sami Callihan.
Absolutely not. Oh!
Colon looks like he's going to go for a pin, and Swann's had about enough of taking orders and breaks up the pin again. And again, Alex Colon seems to be upset with that.
I'm sure he is, Mark Bray. Why are you so surprised? There can only be one winner. Only one guy going to the pay window.
I'm not surprised at all. I'm just more shocked that Alex Colon would think that, Rich Swann wouldn't do that in the first place. But still at the receiving end of a barrage from both of those athletes is Sami Callihan.
For the third time.
This has got to be it.
Oh!
And again, Rich Swann breaks it up, and now he's going to go for the cover on Sami Callihan.
I tell you what, Sami is fortunate that these guys can't get along because he's taken some tremendous punishment. He'd be beat by now, Mark Bray.
Absolutely, Sami Callihan, 9 lives like a cat here. He just keeps getting up. And now in a move of desperation, a move of defense, looks like he might. 2 kicks to both Colon and Swann.
They made a mistake. They had a chance to double up on him. You give this guy an inch, he'll take a mile. The new horror's taking over. Go!
Ladies and gentlemen, this could be the turning point in this matchup right here. Sami Callihan taking control. And now another knee, this time to Alex Colon.
He's going for the stretch muffler.
And the stretch muffler, we've seen this before. Not many a competitor can break out of this one.
Nobody has yet. This is how he won the Shamrock Cup. Rich Swann. Oh!
And Rich Swann, 2 attempts.
He might have him.
And amazingly, Callihan is able to kick out, but now he's going to try his luck with Colon.
Colon's too close to the ropes. I am so incredibly impressed with Sami Callihan. He has taken tremendous amount of punishment, and he is still hanging in here.
And now the
very
fragile friendship between Colon and Swann seems to be over.
He's kicking him in the face. He's throwing punches, and he's throwing straight kicks right to the jaw. Oh!
Whoa! Wait a second.
He's setting him up. Oh.
This has got to be it.
Yeah, that's
1, 2, and would you look at that. Again.
What a main event here on Rage TV.
Out of nowhere.
That only Dan McDevitt can bring you here, Rage TV and Team McDevitt.
You love saying that. You get a grin on your face every time.
It's going to stay on my face for a long time, Mark Bray. Looking at a match like this brings a smile to my face. You can't see talent like this anywhere else in the state of Maryland except right here in Maryland Championship Wrestling.
Well, I'm not so sure that maybe Commissioner Candy didn't have part in this matchup being booked.
Yeah, right.
But, you mean that's just me.
Commissioner K.
And a right foot, Yes, Commissioner Jesse
Look
K.
at these kicks. These guys are warriors, man.
Sami Callihan, Alex Colon, you better believe it. The
Stretch
fans
muffler.
expected nothing less than this, and here comes the stretch muffler. Rich Swann nowhere to be seen,
There
and again
he
he
is.
comes from underneath. He wraps up 1, 2,
Oh.
and I thought it was over there. My goodness, it's amazing how these...
Oh. How many headshots can you take?
I'm getting a headache just watching it.
Somebody's going to end up like Muhammad Ali.
Ooh, too soon.
Oh,
Too
sorry.
soon.
I'm a
And now he goes for a stretch muffler again. I wouldn't expect anything less from Earl.
Oh,
He
this
goes
has
for the
gotta
stretch
be
muffler.
it.
This has got to be it. If he taps out, Callihan will be
He
victorious
taps
here
out,
in the
Mark
main
Gray.
event of Rage
Tremendous match.
TV.
Good job, guys. Way to represent Dan McDevitt.
Amazingly representing MCW, all of MCW. Sami Callihan victorious. Let's set it down to ringside with the official calling of the match.
The winner of the match, the Callihan Death Machine, Sami Callihan.
And he didn't need the wrench.
Sami Callihan victorious here on Rage TV.
He's a wild man.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2012 is going to be a big year for everyone in Maryland Championship Wrestling. I am Mark Bray, Earl the Pearl
Yep.
of the Holy Rollers and Team McDevitt. Good night from Baltimore.
MCW, we are Maryland Wrestling.